Ladies and gentlemen, I am KageKaze, and some of you may or may not know that I like adventure games. Specifically games of the Metroid or Castlevania variety, or I guess Metroidvanias as they're known nowadays. Used to just simply be known as adventure games before those two really set the standards, but I haven't played one of these in a while, and the Steam sale came up fairly recently where this game, Dust, an Elysian Tale, went on sale rather cheap, and I had had my eye on it for some time. And I've seen the reviews, it looked really good, and I think I just really want to try it out. And so I'm just going to try something different. I'm just going to go ahead and go through this, we'll give you a little gameplay of it, and basically adventure the game. The adventure game is kind of what I'm calling this. And what is it? Well, let's face it, it's pretty much going to be a Let's Play, but I wanted to give it at least something with some pizzazz. But I don't know how far this is going to go. It's kind of an experiment. I'm probably going to play through the whole game. We'll see how the videos do to see if I continue to record it. So if you like it, please, by all means, give it the standard thumbs up and whatnot. But this game has been very well received, and what's amazing about this game is that it was created by one man, Dean Dodrell. It seems to be a theme lately. A lot of these indie games that I like playing seem to be created by one very passionate person. It seems like that's really, you want to get this vision out, this really neat idea, and these guys really step forward to do this. It's not saying that all one-man teams do great work. Some can be a little off, but these guys definitely show their passion. This game was, looks like, originally released on Xbox Live and has since then been ported over to the PC and is on Steam, of course. He did pretty much everything but the voice acting and the music. The voice acting has a few voice actors in it. The music was done by Hyperduck Soundworks and by Alexander Brandon. And amazingly enough, Hyperduck Soundworks, that does the soundtrack for this, which so far has sounded pretty good, is also doing the music for another adventure game I'm looking at and will probably put out for Ares. So they do some pretty good work. They've got some very nice soundtracks. It sounds like they have a very wide range, both here with Subtlety and with Ares they do a lot more rock. So it's very pleasant to listen to. Alright, so first thing I'm impressed with by this game, by the way, especially for a port from an Xbox Live arcade game, is this. I move the mouse and I go into a mouse interface. I use the joypad and I get that interface. It goes back and forth between the two without a hitch, pretty much. It's amazing. Most games get this wrong, if you can believe that or not. Some AAA titles can't even get that right. I played Darksiders, for example, and absolutely loved that game. And Darksiders had this issue where I could not use the keyboard and mouse properly if the gamepad was auto-detected, because it wouldn't give me the interface I wanted, and so it had some issues going back and forth. Now, granted, Darksiders had really great controls for both, but if I didn't want to see all control pad options, like down there you see where it says A and B, if I didn't want to see that, I wanted to see keybinds, I had to make sure that the controller was disconnected or otherwise disabled before going into it. This game just goes back and forth without a hitch, and I really like that, and that gets mad respect for me. Another game that did that really well was Sleeping Dogs by Square Enix. So it's nice to see that there are some people paying attention to that and knowing that a port to a PC is not just simply copying and pasting. Standard features here, how to play, controls. As you can see, it's going to go through the Xbox controls, but you can see down here as well, it lets me know that I have mouse button controls as well. And as a matter of fact, if I back out and let's just see how to play, does it show the... Yep, it completely changes the buttons. So I can see that I have several different combos and things like that. So that's... I've played only a little bit just to see how the game looked and to make sure everything looked good, see if it was a game I was going to be interested in. Some very nice settings here. Honestly, this is a masterwork as far as ports are concerned. Some of these games just do not have all of these options readily available to you when they port it over. I don't know why. It's like they put it over to a PC and it's kind of an afterthought, and then you get these games where the keyboard and mouse controls just don't work very well. In this game, they seem to work quite well. So, alright, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get started, and let's get into the story. So it supports auto-saving. That's very nice. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get myself a slot here. And let's see, what do we have? Casual, ideal for casual and young players. Simply wish to enjoy. Now, let's see. It's probably going to be normal or above. Default difficulty, tough is increased difficulty. Seasoned players of action games, encounters, or smarter and tougher enemies. I'll probably do that. I don't think I'm going to do hardcore. So let's go ahead and put it on tough. And of course I can always change it later, right?
Our world has fallen to fade, its great works long since complete, its storied civilizations long since fallen to dust. The greatest legends of Elysian long since forgotten. What was once a land of promise has fallen to the ravages of war. And it was in this, our most desperate hour, that the greatest of Elysian tales began. The lone warrior stood against an army, slashing his way through all who opposed him. The mob stood no chance, and the soldier showed no mercy. But despite his victories, his skills, his ruthlessness, the valiant soldier would perish on this day. Not to the mob, but to a single child.
Dust, dust, arise.
What? A talking sword? What are you?
Only that which you have summoned.
Summoned? How? For what purpose?
That I do not know. But we shall learn in time. Now rise and claim the blade of Ara.
Stop! Stop right there!
And who is she?
Me? I'm Fidget, guardian of his sword.
Yeah, I do have some conversation options. I really like the visual style to this and how smooth some of the animation is. I like the fact that while it's telling the story, you actually have a limited control over him, and actually full control over the main character while he's in a silhouette form and you're tearing through things. So let's go ahead and go through our options.
No offense, but aren't you a bit, well, small? For a guardian, I mean.
Hey, I just look after that thing. After 200 years, nobody expects a sword to just fly off and start, talking. I'm kind of wishing somebody told me this was part of the job description. Or maybe they did, and I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I totally know how that is, trust me.
I'm sorry, I think I misheard before. You said your name was Fidget?
Hey, this isn't about me. You're the one who's got my sword. How about you tell me your name?
I'm...
Call yourself Fidget. His name is Dust, and he is the one who woke me from my slumber.
So, Fidget, then?
That's me. And you're Dust?
It would seem that way, though I can't recall that name. So, what is this sword?
I am the blade of Ara, and you, Dust, are my fated sword bearer.
Yes, well, that's all great and everything, but I think it's about time I got this sword back to the clan.
I can't let you just leave with this sword, Fidget. Right now, it's the only thing that knows who I am. I don't even know how I got here.
Well, then you leave me no choice. I challenge you! The winner gets the sword!
Oh dear. Be nice.
Well,
Alright, you win. But don't think I'm leaving empty-handed. I'm coming with you. But, I really need the sword back when you're done doing, you know, whatever it is you're doing.
What exactly am I doing, Ara?
The answers you seek lie to the east. There is a path through the glade that leads down the mountainside, and from there you will find a village. That is your first step.
Then will you give me the sword? I really need to get it back home before anyone notices it's, gone.
When I find out just what it is I'm supposed to do with it, it's all yours, Fidget. Come on, let's go.
So here we are, and again, I love these kind of 2D games with these fluid animation styles. Now, they say to go east, and then we can see in the upper right-hand corner it shows that the only way to go is east, but there is a kind of a way over here, so I want to see if there's anything to find. Usually a lot of these games will find, yep, just like that, I've got a treasure key, so they usually hide little things off to the side. So let's go ahead and take a look at my inventory real quick. Alright, so I've got a quick item slot, armor, an augment to the sword, a left ring, a pendant, a light ring, items and keys. Okay, very good. I've got some attack, defense, stats, stat for Fidget, which is only 1. How quaint. Now, I like this map. It is very reminiscent of the map from Super Metroid, and it is one of my favorite map designs. You've got the grid design. It shows you when there's an item in the room, and if you've collected that item or not. At least it appears to, from what I can see here. It makes it very easy to find out what rooms you needed to go back to. So I'm kind of hoping this game is going to have some really cool abilities and powers that will make me have to explore as I go and come back, of course. The typical backtracking. Looks like I do have a quest as well, so very nice. Very fluid. I like that I have combos already. So I've got my standard 4-hit combo. And of course I can switch that up with the secondary hit, I believe. So, yep, there we go. I've got a 2-hit combo that lets me go into the air. And of course I can combine that into an air throw, which can't do that without an enemy. But I can also go into the air by hitting up in the... Oh no, not up in secondary, so I had to do primary, secondary. And of course I hit down in the secondary attack and I just do that wonderful thing. That's very reminiscent of Devil May Cry. I actually think the combat system is fairly reminiscent of both Devil May Cry and God of War, which is kind of nice. So, let me see. Primary attack, secondary, primary, secondary is a 4-hit combo, which has a throw component, which is kind of cool. I do not have a 3-hit combo and secondary attack, so well, let's go on and fight some monsters, shall we? It's a very beautiful world, honestly. Has that kind of hand-drawn or painted look to it. I miss these kind of 2D games, honestly. A lot of games try to go into the 3D space more and more, and some games just work better in 2D. And like the Metroid games, they tried doing it with Other M. Unfortunately, I never played Other M, so I don't really know much about that one. But a lot of the Metroid games do better. Like when Castlevania tried to go 3D. I remember Castlevania 64, and it was awful. Oh, mysterious wall chicken. That has got to be a joke on Castlevania right there. Embedded in a wall, fully cooked and seasoned chicken comes from unknown... Yeah, that's a Castlevania joke. That's awesome. Alright, it's in my quick slot, which I believe is my left bumper button, so that's good. But a lot of games want to do the, like, third person.
What is it, Fidget?
Well, my kind has what you'd call a sixth sense. And there's something just ahead.
Okay. Can't do anything here. But a lot of them are going to this, like, over-the-shoulder, third-person kind of action game look. And Castlevania even, they've got Lords of Shadow, which is a 3D game, but it's not a bad 3D game like Castlevania 64 was. New ability, dash. So left trigger and right trigger allow me to dash. I use up a little bit of energy when I do so. It allows me to interrupt animations, so I can use it very defensively. And I can do it in midair. Very nice. But I don't know why more, games don't do kind of a 2D thing. Couldn't go down that until I unlocked dash, so okay. Even if they were to use 3D models, right? 3D models on a 2D plane. Other M, again, kind of tried that, but it also tried to do the over-the-shoulder or aiming thing, which I think ended up being kind of gimmicky. Again, I never ended up playing it, but I know it wasn't exactly reviewed the highest. Alright, in ancient times, our greatest possessions and staunchest allies were locked away using powerful magic beyond our comprehension. The only way to reclaim these lost treasures is to use the magically attuned keys strewn about our world. I only hope there is enough time to free them all. Very nice. And we've got the treasure chest, and thankfully I already found the key.
Right, we found a chest.
Correction. We found a locked chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Smash it open.
That would be unwise, Dust. These chests are protected by arcane locks from the last era, and are well beyond my capabilities.
I suppose we'll need a key then.
Yeah, it's a good thing I have a key. Alright, we'll go ahead and hit open it. So it looks like we get a little lock mini game, and so we hit the button. A, B, X, A, X. And it's kind of musical too, that's kind of cool. What I like is that the keys show up in the actual positioning of the gamepad. And I can already see that there is something here that I can't go to, or can't get through. So there is a way here that I can go that I'll probably have to come back with some kind of power-up. Excellent. So there is some exploration to be had. Bambi! Oh, okay, fine. Time for some combat.
Calm yourself, Fidget. Dust. Focus. Remember what you've learned thus far.
No! Mash the buttons! Do something!
Apparently it is a self-aware game. That I like. That air throw is amazing. And then of course you've got this throw here.
Nobody said anything about monsters.
Strange. Where did I learn these skills?
You wield the Blade of Ara, and with it, all the skills imbued therein.
Hello? Monsters?
Is that why I summoned you? To control this power?
It is unlikely, Dust, that I would awaken from my slumber for such selfish reasons. There is a village beyond these woods. Perhaps finding it will aid in restoring your memories.
And then we'll be in the clear, right? No more monsters?
Fidget, I think things are about to get a whole lot worse.
And to think, this morning started off so well. At least take these feeble fruits. Something tells me you're gonna need them.
Feeble fruits. Alright, let's see what we've got. Feeble fruits are a small juicy fruit that does little for hunger. It's 20 health. Okay. Compared to the Loda Nut, which is 40 health, and that's 80. So let's start with the lower end healing items, I think, and save the higher end ones for later. I took a little bit of damage. I'll even use one right now. Yeah, that gives me quite a bit of health for my current health bar, so I will gladly save these. Save point! Excellent. Oh, we can even go to the world map. Let's take a look at that. Cannot access it yet, so let's go ahead and save. Into slot 1. And to throw! Oh! Ooh, an item. A Dirty Ring Blueprint. Now, I did let myself get hit a few times there that I could have avoided. because I forget to use my dash, so I need to remember to go ahead and use that every now and then. So apparently there's going to be some kind of crafting system. +2 luck, blueprint, alright. Yeah, a little bit of crafting, cool. It's letting me know about some of my combos, so... Bam! Oh, that is nice. I love games like this with this kind of combat. Just because it gives you a chance to kind of look flashy and do these really neat abilities. I'm just hoping there's all sorts of really cool combat moves or something that I can unlock. It's one thing I love about the, games like Metroid, since Metroid, I don't think, I can't really say if Metroid started it all, but I mean it was one of those games where you got all sorts of really cool weapon unlocks that did different things, that got you past different types of obstacles. Of course, back then on the NES, there wasn't a lot they could do, so your variations were pretty much like going through walls, freezing enemies, or just going further across the screen. But they did something that you needed.
You have unlocked a new ability. Bear witness to the dust storm.
I like it.
Hold the secondary attack to perform the dust storm. But beware, skilled as you may be, you cannot maintain the storm for long without hurting yourself.
In that case, maybe I can help. If you press the super ballistic fidget action button of power, I'll perform an attack so spectacularly awesome that it'll produce emotions you didn't even know existed.
Okay, that was funny.
Please contain yourselves as I demonstrate.
I love his name for the button. Or her name.
That was, very pretty.
Well, maybe I'll just keep the rest of my repertoire to myself.
I'm sorry, Fidget. I'm sure it'll come in handy somehow.
Actually, Dust, between the three of us, this could be quite useful. The dust storm can manipulate Fidget's projectile into a more powerful attack. Observe.
Wow!
Impressive.
Oh, by the way, every time I use my power, it'll use up a bit of energy meter. You can recharge the meter with melee combos.
Yes, Dust. Between your combos and Fidget's own powers, you can achieve a higher hit chain, which will yield bonus experience after each battle. However, if you are struck by an enemy, the chain will be broken, and you will lose your bonus experience.
All right, I think I understand.
If this is all too much for you, you can check out the help screen via the pause menu.
Thanks, Fidget. I'll take a look if I'm ever in trouble.
Let's go ahead and get to the point where I damage myself here.
Whoa! What was that? Did you just hit yourself?
Dust, you must take care. Even the greatest of swordsmen cannot maintain the dust storm for that long.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to be more careful.
Keep an eye on your color. If you start turning red and the screen begins to shake, you're close to losing it.
Okay, so it looks like the 3 hit and then secondary goes into Dust Storm. Okay. Super amazing, awesome fidget button right there. It's interesting that the game is kind of self-referential. I don't know. It's one of those things that you can either be okay with it or kind of hate it. I'm kind of indifferent to it, although in this kind of fantasy setting it seems a little awkward. Usually in modern military or futuristic, they can almost pass, you know, give it by because they're like teaching you controls through your equipment, but in this case, you know, it is a tutorial, so it works. It's just really cool. All right. And now it's telling me how to do the air combo, which I've already pretty much learned, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and get some special projectiles out. Cupcake. That's pretty cool right there. Again, kind of reminiscent of Devil May Cry. As Dante did have a move pretty much exactly like that, but it was one of my favorite moves, so. At least I can attack through the wall even if I can't move through it. Very nice. The Dust Storm looks like it doesn't really do a lot of damage by itself. It's a lot of little hits, so it can do some damage over time. I imagine it's something that I'll have to upgrade as well. It's starting to take hits, so let's go ahead and heal up a little bit. Definitely very colorful, very smooth, and it's just really fun.
You just leveled up.
Is that what I did? It feels good. Great, even.
As it should, Dust. You've acquired a skill gem. Open the character screen through the inventory to upgrade your abilities and become even more powerful.
Alright, note that the highest stat must be within 4 gems of your lowest stat. Interesting. Okay. So you can't just pump absolutely everything. So it's showing me that I can only put 4 of whatever. Interesting. So I can go into health, attack, defense, or fidget. Let's see. Fidget is at 1, and that goes up by 15. I kind of think I want to level that. Attack goes from 4 to 10, so that's not too bad. Actually, having that do so much more damage would be kind of nice. But at the same time, you know, doing too much damage, well, it seems kind of odd. Could be a bad thing just because it reduces my combo potential. If I kill things quickly, I don't do as much in a combo. Getting health would be kind of nice. I don't think I really need it. Let's just go ahead and buff up the little guy, girl thing. Mascot. Alright. Dust. Hello? They chased, and I ran. 5, maybe 6 of them, all armed to the teeth and closing in fast. I made it to Archer's Pass, but with an arrow in my leg, they caught up to me, at the headless statue. Surrounded, desperate, and nowhere else to go, I climbed out to the hand and made a leap of faith. Can I... Map quests. Okay, it's in the... Alright, so those things are in the character inventory map quests. Oh, materials. Okay, cool. So I can see what kind of materials I have. They don't take up... There's really no inventory aside from that, so that's kind of nice. Oh, I can even look at gameplay statistics. Alright, so under quests, and then I hit the right trigger over to notes, so if I mouse... Okay, cool. If I use the mouse, I've actually got all these things here, and it's under here under notes. So, Archer's Pass, and something about a statue and a hand. So let's go ahead. Oop. Go, 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 go. Treasure key. Okay, can't do much else there. It's a very nice soundtrack. Oh, beautiful. Man, I love it when a combo comes together. Alright, let's go down. Oh, sweet. I got the key, so let's unlock it. I find it interesting that I have to use a mini game to unlock it with a key. It seems like I'm picking the lock rather than doing anything. Alright, so I got some armor. Protects you from the cold, but little else. 4 defense, 1 luck. Great. Nice to have a little more there. So, alright. Have to go back down to the wonderful wind tunnel. The story going. Amnesia as a story device. I gotta say, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, there's so many stories I've read that use amnesia as a plot device. It just seems like so many things use it, but I understand the idea behind it. I mean, it's like, you need to tell a story about a hero's discovery or a character's discovery, and it's like, if you knew everything about that character from an omniscient point of view, basically, like you think about the way you do literary works, a lot of works do a semi-omnipresent type of style where you're not privy to everything that's happening in the universe, but you're usually privy to enough that's going on to tell the story, and maybe enough of the story to know some things that the main characters don't. You know, so like the main characters might be doing something, and then you might get some views of a villain or something, and they're plotting and scheming.
Wow. It's really beautiful up here.
Yeah. So, any idea where we are?
I was maybe hoping you could tell me.
Oh, silly me. I seem to have dropped all my detailed maps and navigational equipment chasing after a crazy flying sword.
I'm sorry I got you mixed up in this fidget.
Well, you should be. Taking my sword, getting me in trouble.
You know, now that I think about it, this isn't the first time I've seen this view. I've stood here before, in this very spot.
Then perhaps you recognize the village at the base of these cliffs?
It's hard to make out from here. We'll need to drop down to the valley floor if we want to get any closer.
Very well. Proceed as you wish, Dust.
Okay, quest updated. There's a village in the distance. Okay. Now I am noticing that I think the sound, the music, for example, is a little soft compared to everything else. Okay, so the sound volume wasn't exactly master volume, so let's just kind of bring them down to similar levels here. There, that should make it easier. Easier to hear. Alright. Before going down, we're going to go ahead and go up, as I like to do. Not necessarily breaking the sequence, but trying to see if there's any kind of secrets to be had. I was kind of hoping I would have a wall jump like in Metroid. Oh! I was like looking right at that guy and I didn't even see him. Alright. Good. Okay. No breakable walls here. This is pretty cool. So I think what I'm actually going to do, since we are at a good saving point, I'm going to first just do a bunch of damage to these guys because I can. That is very cool. Alright, that was just a badass amount of damage and combos. Alright, let's see if there's something secret over here before I end this, actually. 2 keys. Yes, that is perfect. That's a good place to end it. So I'll get those keys, we'll go back, we'll save this up, and I'm just going to do this in kind of shorter bursts for now. Save the longer stuff for some other features and whatnot. So yeah, Dust and Elysian Tale so far is proving to be quite fun. Very much do enjoy the combat, so I'm looking forward to do more. So again, if this is, you know, something interesting, feel free, come by and watch. It's not going to, you know, obviously it's not going to be too much along the ways of anything super detailed, I suppose. I mean, right now I had a lot to talk about. I'll try and bring some interesting topics into it as I go. Again, it's a Let's Play. So, let's play Dust. Haha! Alright, thanks for watching. And if you decide to stick around, we'll see you next time.